Start.
Hello people, good afternoon. We are in second chapter, the last paragraph of this chapter. We are going to complete. So, last two periods, I hope you understood in a proper manner without facing any problem. And I'll get to the last paragraph, and after this, I will assign you question answers as well as in-text question answers and important notes. I may send you through WhatsApp for your update. Let's see the last paragraph what has mentioned for us, and the last paragraph is all about development as progress over time. So, last period we have completed some of the basic necessities and the social indicators, which is most important for us finding out as well as for checking out whether our nation is developing in a proper manner or not. So, what are those social indicators? Let me define you once again. The social indicators way per capita income, secondly is health, and third we have talked about the education. So those are the most important indicators, social indicators last time we have studied regarding per capita income, how we are measuring per capita income. Secondly, health, and thirdly, education. So what we are going to study today is some countries are ahead in terms of the others, especially in human development indicators. And these indicators I have written over here: per capita income, health, and education. So children, when we compare the nations, which may be difficult for us, and when we come to our nation and we compare our states, we take these sectors mostly and importantly that to find out whether our states are going properly in a well manner or not. So we will find, as the last and the previous classes I have said you, and I have compared Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Bihar. So Himachal Pradesh was at the top when comparing to Bihar. In the same manner, so those things are very much of useful for us when we think in a meaningful way. So those are the social norms we should understand in a short manner whether we are developing or not. So let's go for the example. Especially the education is a social norm, and we are going to check out a close review of schooling revolution of Himachal Pradesh. Schooling revolution of Himachal Pradesh. So student, Himachal Pradesh. Especially we are going to confine the social indicators of education. Let's see here. At the time of independence, like most other states, Himachal Pradesh had also lower level of education. And being a hilly region, its population density was spreading all over the part of the state in an uneven and unequal way. And it had a big and a great task for the people as well as for the government to set off and to get a better education for the children of Himachal Pradesh. So that the government had started setting of the schools, all parts of Himachal Pradesh. And it had made ensure many other aspects, whether the parents of the children should not spend at least a fair amount of money to give better education to the people of Himachal Pradesh. So it had made ensure basic things like skilled teacher, secondly good classes, thirdly drinking water, fourth toilet facilities. As year passes, these facilities it started to improve, and among all the states of our country, Himachal Pradesh had a good budget, especially for the school children, by spending more than 2,005 rupees. By comparing the other states, the other state government was spending only 1,049 rupees per year. So what we found here, the high priority on education which paid off. And it is an intensive report as well as intensive source of survey on school of Himachal Pradesh that in the period of 1996, in the period of 2006, the survey said that many of the children and students of Himachal Pradesh are very much of enthusiastic to attend the school in a proper manner. Especially the age group of 6 to 18, as it has mentioned. And the teachers are well skilled as well as very much of humble towards the students. And children, they have different ambitious ways to get achieving their goals, like some of our ambitious about the police, about the doctor, and the different other criteria. Let's compare and let's come to the next what it has mentioned for us. The norm of Himachal Pradesh, how it has started to change. We have to go direct to the parents. How the parents and how they are supporting the people of children, their children, that we will find. Let's come to that. So many of in our country, many of the people, they are very much of showing anxiety on their children to give a good and better education. And Himachal Pradesh also one of them. Let's see and let's find out how it is. So student, when we compare in the 90s, we found that there had less priority of girls' education than the boys. What I said? Girls' education. Than the boys. But which is opposite in Himachal Pradesh. Most probably the parents, they give higher priority in the girls' education. And the mortality rate on the girls which is less compared than the boys. It means they give more importance to whom? To the girls only. So what is the reason behind it? The reason behind it, as it has mentioned here, that many of the parents, they support the girls as the women itself in the society are self-sufficient, self-independent, and economically they are good. And even though they decide that after their daughter's marriage, they will also their daughter also will help their family needs. And most things we may find there. Many of the women, they take all the good rights as like the male in the household works, so that they give higher priority to the girls, so that the schooling itself. So at the age, what do we find? 6 to 18, we find children, girls especially in Himachal Pradesh, they complete their 8th class, 8th standard, and they moving forward to the secondary education. So here what we found, that education and schooling, it's a natural and a social norm for the people and the children of Himachal Pradesh. Let's find out. I will show you and I will compare how the education level which is differ. Let me write. children, the Himachal Pradesh. I am writing shortly here. Himachal Pradesh and all total India. How education is giving more priority both the girls and the boys. As for the 1993 report and 2006 report. The same manner, what we find 39, which has improved to 60. From the next 57, boys, it has improved 75. Come to all over the total progress in India. So here we found 28, whereas by the period of 2006, which has improved only 40. Then 51 and 57. So here we found the more priority towards the boys, especially for the education. But it is little quiet when we come to and when we are comparing Himachal Pradesh, its educational progress, especially for the percentage of girls which has improved from 39 as per the report 1993, and by the period of 2006 which has improved 60%. So this is the most important indicator which shows us that how Himachal Pradesh and Himachali peoples are more cautious about their girls' education. Let's sum up the chapter which has we have completed, and I have taken 3 periods to complete. So while coming to the last and ending of the chapter, I may say one thing, that development, which is in a mix of goal. So mix of goal, what are the mix of goal we may find here? So same thing I will repeat once again. Mix of goal is income, first income. Secondly, I will say you the health. And the third I will say about the education. Those are the mix of goals. So goals and achieving them which may conflicting. And when we come to the question whose development, we should all together think about how development over the time should progress and what are the basic indicators must be required. Coming to the next one, we have studied about the per capita income. Income and per capita income, those are not equal or not even when we compare people to people, which will be differ, state to state, which will be differ, and country to country, which will be 100% differ. So that human development index only reported and only repeated the 3 things, including the per capita income, that is the social indicator and the social norm of health and education. So children, so far our government presently has taken the initiative way to provide better education. Apart from that, health is also most important, so that all over our country PDS system which is working in a progressive way. So I hope so people will be very much of ambitious, and they will take the initiative way to go to the school and to get good education, and they will care for their health. And this is all about the chapter, and I will update all the questions, not answers, through WhatsApp, and keep watching and get all kinds of updates regarding this chapter. If you have any doubt, you can go to the comment and I will reply it later on. And stay blessed, be safe. Thank you.